Hey y'all, it's Shawna Reed. Shout out to the Progress Report.
The Progress Report.
All right, what's going on? It's your girl Lila Shepherd. This is the Progress Report.
Boss Brit the most lit.
What's up? It's your girl DJ Excel.
Hey, we got our first guest. Introduce yourself.
It's Shawna Reed.
What's going on, Shawna?
Hey.
Shawna, what do you do?
Oh, girl, some of everything. I hate that question because I really answer it with whatever the fuck it takes, honestly.
Okay.
Honestly.
I love that.
But what do you do though?
Okay, right now, currently, I am the brand manager for Peewee Longway's label, MPA Bandcamp.
Crazy.
And I am the manager for a new upcoming female rapper, Trippy Tiffy. And then I still have my brand Trap merch. I still have to get that back popping, but yeah. That's kind of that. Those are my official titles.
Word.
And then I work with independent artists. I just started my own management company called Reed Music Group, and I'm working with an artist named Magazine out of Shreveport, Louisiana. And then still just kind of working with Bob Lennon, just wherever I'm needed.
Dope.
Yeah.
You get
Sounds
the job
like a
done.
lot.
Yeah, it is a lot. And I have 5 children.
Ooh.
On top of that.
Really?
Man, I can't
How do
imagine
you
doing
do
all
it?
that.
You got all
Yeah.
these friends. How
5
do you
babies.
balance everything?
So yeah, how do you like
I
really?
my oldest is 17, so he's like my backbone.
Of course.
So
oldest.
And then I have like my family, my friends. So
That's good.
Wow.
Has anyone ever told you look like Kelly Rowland?
yes, I get
Okay.
that.
Look,
And I've been
we
getting
always do
Drinker
that.
Gates, so I like that
true,
too.
okay.
I like that.
I'm sitting here like,
I like
you know,
that.
Destiny
Right.
Child. I'm like, who?
Brit silly.
Dawn, yeah.
crazy.
It's Dawn
Look,
from
I've gotten
Benedict.
that one too.
You
Hey!
oh, Dawn Richards.
Yes.
Oh,
I was trying to
fuck.
figure it out too. Cause I
I'll
was
be
thinking
a double
that,
for that check, so y'all
Okay,
hit
exactly.
me up.
Yeah,
That's what's
son,
up.
double higher.
Well, okay. So, how did you get interested into music, and how did you get started?
Ooh, I started making a long story short. My little brother, I have one brother. He was in college. This was like 2011. He was in college, and my dad wouldn't go get him one day for a weekend trip. So I never knew he could rap or anything. Never. I went to school for coding, so I had a health degree. Didn't start in this, and he did. He did like a little jingle because there was some stuff going on in our hometown. Our mascot is the Demons. And then we had a pastor move down to Warner Robins. I'm from Warner Robins, Georgia. A pastor moved down there and he wanted to change it. And he was like, you know, my kids aren't going to be.
Yeah, but why would it be the demons?
That we've
sounds
always
kinda
been that. But we've
crazy.
always been
A
that.
lot of schools got crazy names. though.
Right.
Yeah.
So he created this little jingle, uploaded it on Facebook. Basically, it was no cussing, no anything. Just basically like no one's gonna change our school. And the local newspaper and the TV stations started calling him, and he was like, "Who do we speak to?" So he just threw me out there, like called my sister. And long story short, I started working with him and got him a little notoriety in Macon, and he got the big head. So
Wow.
and my mom's watching. Hey, mama.
What's up, boss?
But yeah, so
I'm
I
not
just
watching
kept
too.
going. And then in Macon, I started meeting a lot of people. Shout out to LJ Malone. He's a big plug down there in Macon. And he introduced me to a guy from New Orleans who had a lot of money and wanted to do shows. So from 2011 to 2013, I was on the road doing shows, Gucci, Rocco, just kind of, and then came back to Atlanta and started doing music.
It's crazy how God be just setting
He
your
does.
life up
You
like
can't have
in
a
ways like you wouldn't expect. You know what I'm saying? So that's crazy how that all happened.
And then relationships from back then, like the Artist magazine I was telling y'all about. I met him in 2012. So he just kind of followed my journey. I didn't have a plan. I didn't know how this was going to play out. And then he started making music and called me up. He's my first Reed Music Group client from
Wow.
somebody I met back then.
That's crazy.
So what got you working with Peewee? Like how did that happen?
Well, I started when I got to Atlanta in 2013. I mean, I had been here, but when I started working in the music industry, I was working with Caveman Rosario. And he had started working with Gucci, and then we were doing like his project State versus Radrick Davis too. And then he got locked up. Well, he was locked up when we started working with him. So we were releasing music for Gucci while he was in prison, and then he just kind of was like, hey, y'all need to do what y'all doing for me, for Peewee. And we went over there and started working with him. So we've been with him like 4 years consistently.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read that in Gucci's book that he was cool with Peewee.
Yeah,
And
yeah, they're
how
real
they
close.
rock.
Peewee brought he wasn't quite ready to do the rap stuff, so he brought Thug to Gucci instead. Like that's just how much of a real nigga he is. Like I might not be ready, but here, you know, and then that's how that happened.
Is that what inspired your brand? You said it was
Trap merch,
Is that where you
definitely.
got
I
from,
started
being
that
around
in 2013 when we were working with Gucci.
When you right out of Trap Stars,
Yes.
like
OJ. Yeah, shout out to OJ the Juice Man. He really supported my brand, like when it was nothing. So him and Peewee were really, you know, I to this day, anything they need.
Right.
That's what's up.
For sure. Who has been like I'm not gonna say the best person you work with, but who's been like the most hardworking person that you work with?
Hardworking, consistently hardworking.
Consistently hardworking person. Because you know it's tough. That's a lot of people
very
don't
hard.
understand that. You know, being an artist requires, you know, everybody got to work hard. You know what I mean? Like even when you get a team, it don't mean you can slack off. So I've seen
I think consistently it would definitely be Crazy Black. Crazy Black is an up and coming artist. He signed a hit co right now.
Okay.
But he's been just
What stands out? Like what qualities?
He just stays at it. He's always in the studio. It's like never nothing. Like it's always about his kids. Like I'm doing it. Like if you follow him on Instagram, he's always showing his children because that's why he's doing it. So he's been one of the most consistent since I met him.
So as a brand manager, what do you think nowadays is like top things for artists and branding? Like what's some major things?
The number one thing that I would say in this day and age is social media, for sure, hands down. It's your building your following, the things you say. Like I don't even get surprised when they say crazy shit because that's what it takes. Like,
right.
Do y'all know I was like earlier? This is kind of on the subject, but earlier I was taking a nap and something woke me up out of my sleep. And the little girl that was rapping, the little like 12-year-old little black girl that was rapping, she is down. It was like a Mitsubishi commercial, and she's just in the passenger seat just rapping. I'm like,
that's genius.
And it was just like 2 months ago that we even saw her.
She be going hard.
Check, getting a check.
Wow, I didn't see that.
I didn't see the commercial.
I didn't see the commercial either. Word.
You know, y'all see it now just because I brought
Yeah.
it up.
I'm
You'll
like,
see it now.
damn, there she going that damn Mitsubishi.
It's
like,
crazy. Like
Social
music
media is so powerful.
Social media is powerful, but it's also crazy too how people just love like hip hop and rap for real. You know what I mean? Like everybody loves the
You can't
everything
deny
about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's everywhere. Like, you know. So what keeps you motivated nowadays?
My babies, definitely my children. Because now that they're getting older, like my 17-year-old, when I was first doing this, like he didn't know who Metro Boomin was. He didn't understand what I was doing. So now he's a junior, and he's like, I've called him a couple times, like when I've been in the studio with TM88, and he's been like, oh my God. So like, and then Peewee just dropped a project. So for him to go to school and hear all his friends like Peewee Longway's music, and he's like, my mom.
Yeah.
So now he gets it, and now like they're watching me now. Hey y'all, I love y'all.
That's what's up.
But hey babies. But yeah, they are definitely my motivation.
For sure. What's been like the toughest lesson that you learned on your own just throughout your journey?
Loyalty, hands down, loyalty. Period. Like the people that you choose to be around and the people that you spend your time with and that you invest your time in, they aren't always. No, I have in the past I've had a tendency to be blind because I want people to win. Like I've always, like that's why I started with my brother. Like I just want people to win. So it's never been about the money for me. Still to this day it's not, because I know that God is going to open those doors. I've watched him, he's done it. So right now, 2019, it's like, Shawna, you cannot pour into cups that aren't pouring back into you.
Yeah,
period.
I love it.
Period.
Yeah.
So it's a hard lesson for me, but that's the hardest thing I'm dealing with.
Nah, that's truth though, and loyalty go a long way. You know what I mean? Because it's easy to be loyal to somebody when everything's on the up and up.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
and to expect them to do it to you,
Right.
but you don't know until they're in that.
Situation.
So yep, that's my thing.
Damn. Wow. So let's talk about entrepreneurship. What are some things that that you can advise just people that's listening that's interested in getting into entrepreneurship, and they may not know like the proper steps?
The number one thing I would tell them is to never give up. Like, you'll see those memes where it says like entrepreneur life. It really is like that. It's really, don't let your inner talk you might not see it but you feel it. Like if you want to be an entrepreneur, no matter what it is that you want to do, you feel it. Like you've seen it. God might have showed it to you already. Or like when I was working in healthcare, every day I'm the youngest in the department making good money, but every day, y'all, I was driving like, this is whack. And I thought something was wrong with me for a long time. I couldn't tell my mom. I have military parents.
Oh, yeah, they
shit.
strict.
So, yeah, they just came around to understanding what I was doing when I was like around Waka Flocka and Tammy Rivera, because they were on TV. So my parents are like,
Yeah.
Some
But-
people just chase that stability. Like, why would you
Right.
leave something?
that's
you
how
know, you
I
went
had to
school
deal with
for?
that. But for any entrepreneur that's watching, like, just you have to stick with it. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. And even when you make it, I'm sure it's way more stuff that's gonna be even harder. Then people are gonna be trying to sue you. They're gonna want your money. You're like, it's never gonna be easy, but it's worth it. To wake up every day to do what you wanna do, there's no greater feeling.
That's a fact.
What would you say is like one of your hardest experiences that you ever went through, just throughout your years of just being in the music business and dealing with those lows?
It all ties into like that loyalty thing I said. It just is the hardest thing is like, because artists will break your heart. Like they will really break your heart, and you put so much into it. Sometimes they don't listen, sometimes they do, and then I don't know. That's the hardest part about this whole thing, is like putting your all into these artists, and then sometimes their team wants it more than they want it, and that is the worst.
That's what I learned that lesson a long time ago. Is I can't want it more than you,
Facts.
because I see the talent in you. You know, so sometimes you be like, yo, even though you don't got it, we see
Got
the potential.
yeah.
And sometimes they don't see it, or they don't got the work ethic or something like that.
Or they ain't patient enough. They want it to like.
They want it
have
now,
They
right.
need that money now.
Yeah,
Right.
I've
On
seen
now.
that.
Like,
Right.
You gotta put that work in, man.
Right. Damn. Yeah, that is true, man. I
Damn.
definitely get my feelings hurt a couple of times. Like,
They will break
Nah,
your
that's
heart.
it.
They
Heart
will.
breaking
They
for
will
real.
legit break your heart.
Yeah.
They will. They will.
Yeah.
That's true. So our show is called The Progress Report. We talk about getting better and uplifting and all that good shit. So how would you define the word progress?
I would define the word progress as oof. All I keep hearing is like to keep going, to keep moving. Like
You said don't ever
That's
give
in my
up.
ear.
don't ever. That's all I can.
Keep going.
So annoying.
keep going. Just keep moving. Like progress.
By all means.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Any means necessary. Right. I just posted that the other day. Dead ass. By any means necessary. Get
Nah,
it.
that's real.
Get it.
Hell yeah. Do we want to try to guess our zodiac sign?
We will guess your zodiac tonight on the
Y'all
Progress.
gotta know what I
Don't
am.
say.
Wait, you
Don't
don't
say.
give us no hints, man.
We're gonna give you. That's how we do it.
You got 3 is
Why not 3?
because that's not accurate.
It's 12 zodiac signs.
Yeah.
But
So
you
how many can we
you
get?
have a moon sign and
2 and
this-
2.
2 and 2.
All right, 2.
All right,
2 each.
Britt.
What's your 2? You go first.
Damn, this is tough.
She like vibrant.
Okay,
and-
I say either an Aquarius or
Don't answer yet.
Oh,
Don't do that 'cause I'm an
damn.
Aquarius. Don't
Damn.
do that because I'm an Aquarius.
Either an
Okay,
Aquarius,
Aquarius. Don't do that to us. We're Aquarius.
or a Cancer.
All right, what you say, Brett?
Mine, I would have to say, I Cancer.
You feel
but I
me?
don't- I feel like
The
I should've did
loyalty,
that,
the
should've did
loyalty.
that. Cancer or
What's another one that's like?
or
like
Sag.
that?
Y'all told me not to do this.
right,
Okay.
Oh, I can tell y'all. I'm a Taurus.
Oh,
I'm a Taurus.
I was gonna say that too.
Right.
For the record, ever since I set these rules, they have not got one right.
You right, you asshole. It's
I
your
think ever
fault.
since I let Lala join with me in this guessing game, that I think I should just
Come
cut Lala off. I think
on.
she's throwing me off, so I'm gonna be the person
All
that
right, a
gets
Taurus. Okay. It makes sense. Taurus. I was thinking that if I didn't say Cancer.
That was right
Here
Here we go.
Like I'm
We
the
did.
15th, so I'm kind of right there.
Yeah,
Like,
you right. You
I'm right there.
Taurus.
So, okay, so what you got coming up next? What can people look forward to?
Whew. Okay, coming up next, we have Peewee Longway is going to drop Blue M&M 4 soon. Excited about that. Y'all get state of the art. Go listen to that. It's his best work, hands down. Shout out to Swag. He's his engineer. He produced some of the hottest records on there. Then I also have I have a Reed music group, so I'm going to still be working with Magazine. He just dropped his project, The Return of David Ruffin, and just raw talent. He's dope. So y'all check that out too. I have a couple events coming up. Actually gonna do some stuff with live hip hop events, and just kind of. Yeah, we're gonna do something. Tia is telling me to say we're gonna do something Super Bowl weekend, so we'll be doing something Super Bowl weekend. Yeah, okay. And then what else, y'all? What else I got, Tia? What else I got? Reed Music Group, Peewee, Trippy Tiffy, my girl. She is dropping her first debut project, first quarter. It's gonna be called Power Trip. I'm sorry, Trippy.
I like that name.
Yeah, Power Trip.
yeah.
So
I like
this
that
is my
name.
first female rapper, so
Dope.
I'm getting in the game. They're
You gotta
popping
bring
right
her
now.
by here to the
Definitely
party.
gonna bring her. Definitely gonna bring her.
Check
Yeah.
out our
Trippy
Cypher Hurry,
Tiffy.
man.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like her.
Definitely. Well, Shawna, thank you so much for coming
You're
through the
welcome.
Progress Report. We
You're
appreciate
welcome.
you.
Y'all are dope.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Too.